Hi, I'm Darnell with WMR Recipes, and this is my review of the Cuisinart Round Classic Waffle Maker. So let's go ahead and get it unboxed. Alright, so not much paperwork with this one, just a little note that you'll have a little burn off smell like you will with most any countertop appliance, a little registration card, and a little manual here that just gives you some basic information of how to use it. But the power cord here, it's a two-prong polarized plug, and the waffle maker is 1000 watts. Now with 1000 watts, you want to be careful what else is on the same circuit, because anything over another 800 watts will probably blow your circuit. So when you're using this, anything else that's on the same circuit needs to be low wattage. And they say that the plates on the waffle maker, which are not removable by the way, they say that the plates have a special non-stick coating. That's what they say, special non-stick coating. They don't say what that is. They do say that it's BPA free, but that's all the information they give regarding the coating. Now the dimensions of the waffle maker are 9.45 inches in length, 7.87 inches in width, and 3.34 inches in height. And it has 5 basically heat level settings for darkness or doneness for your waffle. And they say that it has a weighted lid, so it's supposed to help stay on top of things and not lift up as the waffle is being made, to lift up and not cook the middle. It's supposed to be a weighted lid to stay down and kind of cook things more thoroughly. And they say that this waffle maker weighs just 4 pounds. And so just to give you a look around, you can just kind of see the top here, and there's not much to it. One thing you need to be aware of though is that the bottom is designed to also facilitate cord management. So you're supposed to be able to just kind of wrap the cord around, like this here, when you're not using it, to have some easy cord management. And when you want to store it, since you can do cord management like that, you can just basically set it just like that. And set it in a cabinet or wherever, and it's able to stand on its own vertically like that, which is pretty nice. Now I do want to mention, as I get deeper into this review, if it ever reaches a point that's not to your liking, there are over 900 videos here on the channel covering well over 100 different types of countertop appliances, so plenty here to enjoy. Also, there's the timestamps feature in the video description and the chapters feature where you can just advance to a point of your liking in this video. Okay, so now giving you a closer up view, you can see the basically temperature control here, well, the shade control here, and over here to the side is a little indicator. It's like got a red side and a green side. You'll see it when I plug it in, but the red is basically when it's warming up. Green is when it's ready to cook. It'll also go green when the waffle's finished. And so I'm going to open up here, and you can see inside of the waffle maker, it's got your area where it makes the waffle. It's also kind of got like this excess groove for, like, I guess if you get any excess, it'll kind of compensate there on the edges, which is pretty nice. And I'm going to go ahead and do some independent measurements now. So I'll start with how high is it when it's open. And we see that it is a little over 11 inches when it's open. And the width this way, a little under 8 inches, just a little under 8 inches there. And when we measure things the full length this way, let's see what we get. We get about 9.5 inches that way. And the height when it's closed is just under 3 inches is what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'm seeing just under 3. Or I guess you gotta include this little hump here. So that's how they get there over 3 inches. So yeah, so it is a little over 3 inches when you include that little hump back there. And so that gives you kind of an idea of the measure. Also, let me measure waffle size. So that's a good thing to know. Yeah, you're getting a 7-inch waffle there is what you're getting. We'll measure it this way as well. Yeah, it's a 7-inch round waffle. So now I have the Cuisinart next to the Bella Flip and Store waffle maker. Full review of this is here on the channel. And this will make 7-inch waffles. It's got a little different method that it does it though, because with this little basically closing lock there you can open up. This doesn't have the lock to keep it closed when it's in storage mode. But after you put your waffle in, you basically rock it to the other side and close it to make your waffle. This Cuisinart is not a flip style waffle maker, so you just pour your batter in, close it, and cook. Whereas with this one, you flip it, and so it's got a slightly different design. It's got what they call a ceramic coating. You know, take that for what it's worth, but it's got what they call a ceramic coating on it. And so it's just a little bit different. It's got cord management here on the side. It's got the indicator light here on this side, and you kind of got the little lock for the rocker on that side there. So it's a little bit of a different design from the Cuisinart. Also, it looks like the Bella does deeper grooves, definitely deeper Belgian waffle grooves than the Cuisinart does. So just gives you an idea of comparison there between the two of these. Alright, so I've put a very light coating of extra light olive oil on the plates, just brushed it on. And don't confuse extra light olive oil with extra virgin or other types of olive oil. It's different, it has a higher spoke point and doesn't taint flavor. But basically they say that you should put a little oil on the plates, like you can use a napkin or something, or you can use a brush if you want to put the oil on the plates. And they say that you should do that before you use it. And they say that you may want to do that before each use, but it's not necessary to do it between every use. And they also mention that you might have kind of a burn-off smell, so, you know, doing a quick burn-off is good. They don't say that you need to waste a waffle on the burn-off, though, but they do mention that you're going to have some smell at the start. So now I'm going to close things up, and I'm going to plug it on in. I'm going to set the doneness to 5, because I'm going to test temperature at its hottest point. And so now that it's plugged in, little light here has lit up red. It'll go green once things are heated to the right point. There is no on-off button. You're basically plugged in and you're cooking, or you're unplugged and you're not cooking is how it works. So we'll just let this go and see how long it takes to warm up. Alright, we see it went green here, so it's all warmed up. And I'm feeling the counter. Whoa, don't get too close. Kind of, if you get your finger too close under there, it's kind of hot. It gets kind of hot down, like right under there. But the general table's not hot, but if you get too far under there, I guess under that hot part of the plate, and the top here seems kind of hot too. So the metal is all hot basically. So now I've got a thermal imaging camera on things, so just seeing how hot things are. And we see that where the center of the camera is, things are looking like, I mean, it's saying like night. I think that's the reflective surface. If I put it on the black part, yeah, I'm going over 120 degrees when I'm on that black part of it. So this metal part is even hotter, but it's not able to get a fully accurate read because of that metal reflection. You do see that the plates are like in the 450 range. They're super hot. So it just kind of gives you a view of things, even though we can't get a fully accurate read on that metal because of the reflective surface. I'm going to go ahead and open up and just get a read inside of things. Yeah, I mean, things are super hot. I mean, we're talking almost 500 degrees inside of there. So it probably gets around 500 when it's cooking waffles. So now you have a good idea of the visuals. I saw the smoke when I opened up, so it's overcoming either the smoke point of the oil, or it's just a matter of the burn off that's happening here that's causing a little bit of smoke. But it's not bad. It only happened when I open things up that I see some smoke. So I'm just going to let it run for a while off camera to finish doing a burn off of things. Alright, so I've got my almond flour whole wheat waffle batter here. I'll flash the recipe on the screen for a moment. And I've got the waffle maker set to 3. 3 is the setting for golden waffles, is what they say. And things are already all warmed up. So I'm going to just go ahead and put my first waffle in here. This batter should be enough to make maybe 3 or 4. But I'm just going to make one here with you on camera. Get things carefully poured out. even though they've got the sides to help compensate for that. Right, maybe just a little more. And you can, use the waffle batter of your choosing. I like to do my own homemade thing. Hope I didn't overdo it, but I'm going to close one up and see what happens here now. Alright, it says that the waffle is done, but I'm not sure that it's done. I mean, I think because I put so much batter in there that it, it rose up a bit, and I'm still seeing, I guess the middle doesn't look as completely done as I would think it would be. Yeah, the middle, I mean, I guess I overdid it a bit, so it's kind of, still a little undone there, but you can see the waffle that it does. I guess it depends on, if you don't overdo the batter, it's able to cook up your waffle. I'm going to close it up and give it another, maybe minute or two just to try and get things more completely cooked. I could, of course, turn the temperature up as well, but I'll just let it cook like this and give it a moment. Alright, it's interesting, while waiting it went back to red again. That's pretty interesting. I guess it'll go back to green again when it thinks it's done again. Alright, so it switched back to green a second time. I guess it had to think it over. And yeah, it feels like it's done now, so you see the completed waffle there. Alright, so I'm going to get this waffle out now. And you see it came off super easy. So you see this side and you see the opposite side. So since it lays flat, I did cook the bottom a little more than the top. Also, because of how it closes, the back side is a little thinner than the front. So that's because of how it cooks. When I go inside here, look inside, it is a fully completed cooked inside and out. So, depending on how much you put in there, it may just need a little more time. Now let me talk to you about cleaning the waffle maker. They say that you should unplug and leave it open to cool down before cleaning. Never try taking it apart for cleaning, and just brush off any crumbs is what they say to do. And you can use a dry towel to absorb any excess oil. And if you really need to, you can use like a damp cloth if you want. And if anything sticks on the waffle maker, they say that you should pour a little cooking oil on it and wait about 5 minutes, and it should be able to remove after that. Never submerge the main unit in water, of course, and don't use anything abrasive. So let's talk about the warranty. The waffle maker comes with a 3-year warranty out the box, so that's pretty nice. And so it's able to cook up your waffles. You just got to make sure you regulate how much batter you put in there for how long it's going to need to cook. But it's able to cook up your waffles for you. And it has the adjustable depending on how crispy you want your waffles to be. And so, nothing in this video is sponsored, nothing given to me. You can always check out my blog, superwaveovenrecipes.com. Again, that's superwaveovenrecipes.com. There's Buy Me a Coffee link there. Also in the video description is Buy Me a Coffee link. Also, there's other ways to help out the channel, such as YouTube merch, membership, donations, link to the Amazon shop where you pay the same price, help the channel. And there might even be a shop link in this video that you could use that also helps out the channel if you use that. So lots of ways. But with all of that said, if you did like the video, please do give it a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.